Hi, I'm B.J. Richards with Source, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the consulting market in Brazil. This is a market we value at $1.4 billion, and we estimate that it grew 8% in 2012. Those are some pretty healthy sounding numbers, but if you just focus on those, unfortunately, you risk missing what is really happening in the market right now, which is a lot of anxiety and a lot of uncertainty. This is a market that was really booming until very recently. They were enjoying an impressive 10-year growth streak. They're benefiting from a stable government, a thriving and growing middle class, and with the World Cup and Olympics coming, it really felt like Brazil was transitioning from being an emerging market to being an emerged one. There was a lot of optimism. Unfortunately, that changed in 2012 with the global drop in commodities prices, which sent the economy reeling. Growth in 2012 after this very impressive run was less than 1% GDP, which was really quite shocking. And that pain is being felt everywhere, including in consulting. As I said, consulting still grew 8% that year, but we think that has a lot more to do with a very healthy first half of the year than probably what the year looks like as a whole, and it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up in next year's report. What's happening in consulting is clients are feeling very skittish. They are putting off taking on new projects. Projects they have started are slowing down significantly. And largely as a result of this, plus just the slowdown overall, price competition has entered the market in a way it didn't before, which is putting a lot of pressure on what were already some pretty slim margins in the consulting industry. Unfortunately, we don't really expect this to turn around in 2014. We don't think this is going to be the year of a new economic miracle in Brazil between the presidential election and the attendant decision-making hiatus that usually brings on. We're hearing the World Cup is likely to shut down the country for much of the summer, and a number of other factors suggest this isn't getting better anytime soon. But still, we maintain that this is not such a bad place to be as a consultant. There are a lot of opportunities. Probably the biggest opportunity in the market is simply that the market is getting bigger. There are a lot of small, regional, even family-owned businesses in Brazil that really came into their own during this last 10 years of growth. A lot of them are still doing quite well, and they're looking to expand either in Brazil or beyond, and that creates a lot of work for consultants. The other big opportunity in Brazil is this middle class that I mentioned. They continue to do quite well, and like middle classes all over the world, they're demanding more and better products and services, which creates a lot of opportunity in retail and in marketing and selling. They're also demanding better health care, which is good news for the pharmaceuticals industry. And the other major opportunity of note is that Brazil is seeing the same mobile explosion that we're seeing all over the world, and that creates opportunities around everything from infrastructure to working with clients on mobile platforms. So there are a lot of opportunities. What are the drawbacks? Well, the main one we've already talked about, and that is just the slowing, the dramatic slowing actually, of the Brazilian market. The other big drawback is a lack of talent, and that's not just felt in consulting, but is felt throughout the economy. In fact, we had one consultant tell us that he thinks the lack of talent in Brazil is actually the #1 bottleneck in the entire economy, so obviously that's very significant. Unfortunately, this problem is systemic, and so it's not the sort of thing that's going to get better overnight. The education system in Brazil is not producing enough graduates, and those who do make it through don't have the language and technical skills that our employers are looking for. Brazil is just not training its young people to take on the professional opportunities that they now have available to them. So that makes it difficult to recruit young people, puts a lot of stress on trying to build up the bottom of your pyramid, and as you might imagine, it only gets worse the higher up you go. Senior people are quite rare, and if you can find them, they are being courted from all corners, and so they end up being very expensive as a result. So that's just a quick snapshot of the Brazil consulting industry and what it looks like right now. If you would like more information, please go to our website at sourceforconsulting.com.